We began 2019 with a really surprising and meaningful phone call from the Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services, who wanted to partner with faith communities in the state of Oklahoma to begin the work of combating the opioid epidemic. The state of Oklahoma is realizing fast and furious that the faith communities here in the state are a commodity and a resource to be tapped into. And so we've been able to begin that partnership with the state. We ourselves had no idea just how deep and wide this epidemic has spread. So we are having to do education within ourselves as an organization to be better equipped to do that with you all as the faithful of the state. So let's be on that journey together as we continue to do this work, because we really are all in this together, and we are here to engage in the work of combating the opioid epidemic here in the state of Oklahoma. Our 2019 Day at the Legislature event focused on Oklahoma being first and 49th. We're first in the nation for incarceration rates, which is awful. That makes us first in the world for the incarceration of human beings, and that is unacceptable. Additionally, we're 49th in the nation for our public education system. Again, something we need to be focused on and engaging. So at our 2019 Day at the Legislature event, we focused on those two areas and had deep conversation with leaders, with legislators, and with those who are engaging in the advocacy on the ground in these focus areas.
I think the main reason that members of faith communities should be involved in grassroots campaigns like this is because of their credibility. They don't actually have a vested interest in the outcome of criminal justice or the prosecution or the defense side. They come at it from a compassionate, humanitarian standpoint, but they also come at it from a great deal of credibility. There's no partisan affiliation with religion. There's no partisan affiliation with the Conference of Churches, and that helps to take down the emotional fervor surrounding the issue and boil it down to the brass tacks about how we can best protect the public and administer justice in the state of Oklahoma, and do so in a fiscally responsible and a morally responsible manner.
When we are able to unite together as denominations in this conference, our voice is amplified for the better. So when we engage in advocacy work, we do so as a united front. This past year, we stood together as a conference in opposition of permitless carry here in the state of Oklahoma. And although that bill was ultimately signed into law, we were proud to stand at press conferences, in authorship of op-eds and articles, and by hosting a prayer vigil outside of the governor's office to relay that the morality of the law was not what we were seeing. We had concern for the safety of the citizens of our state and concern for responsible gun ownership here in Oklahoma. We are proud of our work. We're proud of the work we're able to do when we unite together, because we can organize quickly, we can engage far and wide, and there's no limit to what we can do when we come together as a united front. As we vision for the future, we have to think about ways to be innovative. The world is changing, ministry is changing, church is changing. We have to be able to move and shape relevant ministry as we engage in future work. The Conference of Churches is committed to that because we're aware of the trends as well as the gaps, and that's the perfect recipe for innovation. By being present in the community at the grassroots ground level, at meetings, at community gatherings, hearing lectures, engaging in conversations, we know what's happening in the world around us. We know what's happening on the ground. And because we know the trends and we know the concerns, we can also see the gaps, so that we can figure out ways that the conference can stand in those gaps and provide relevant, innovative ministry within that space. At the heart of everything the Oklahoma Conference of Churches is a notion of unity and being united. But what I've learned over the last year is that unity is a beautiful word. It sounds great. It's uplifted in sermons. It's repeated as goals. We have to be willing to sit across the table from people different from us and stay in the seat. We can't just get up when we're uncomfortable. What's hard about that is that it's not human nature to be uncomfortable. But the work of unity is being intentional about going out, about engaging that which makes us uncomfortable, about growing as individuals and organizations so that we can begin the work of building something together.
I think that seminars like this are important because it brings really tough topics to the forefront, topics that need to happen, that people need to be having.
I've been in your congregations. I've been in your faith communities of all denominations, of all faith traditions. And from that 30,000-foot view I get to have, I see a common thread. I see this thread of love, of an emphasis on serving our communities and uplifting our neighbors. That's universal, no matter how we worship, no matter when we worship, and no matter who we're worshiping alongside. Love and unity is at the center of our teaching. So then we have to take the next step. We have to go to the table. We have to sit next to that neighbor. We have to hold fast to that thread. And each and every one of you are pieces that makes that thread stronger. And that thread, that commonality, that connection, that is the Oklahoma Conference of Churches. We're a coalition far and wide that seeks to connect faith communities to the world around them and the world around them to faith communities. Because faith communities are a resource in this state. It's powerful, it's mighty, but it's only mighty and world-changing if we're connected to one another. The Conference of Churches is that connecting piece. That's what matters. That's worth funding because that's going to be world-changing. So whether or not you're affiliated with a denomination, or you're an individual who can give $20 a month, or you're a part of a nonprofit that wants to be a part of a coalition that's going to change the world, this is the organization for you. So consider what you might be able to do to support this world-changing mission.